Today we're taking a look at Nestle Aero, and this is a very, very popular chocolate over in the United Kingdom. We see it sparingly here and there in the States in specialty candy stores. And yeah, it's just kind of a chocolate that's been around forever, but I haven't really touched it much. I had the mint version years ago, and it's kind of like I don't remember anymore. So we're going to try it officially today, and it is the milk chocolate variety, just the standard Nestle Aero. And this goes back all the way to 1935 when it was made by a company named Roundtree, which, if you don't know what this company was responsible for, they also made the Kit Kat bars, which Roundtree and all their property wound up being bought by Nestle, which is why you see Nestle Aero on the label here. So this was originally sold in northern England in 1935, and it was described as new chocolate, almost like the chocolate of the future almost, because inside this chocolate bar you may see there are little air bubbles inside the bar. And how they made this was that they had an actual candy bar shell, a chocolate bar shell, and the filling is melted chocolate, and then they shoot air into it. They aerate it and then put it inside of the chocolate bar shell. And then once it kind of dries up and like gets solid again, it forms these bubbles. Now that's the most simple way of explaining how this is made. It's a bit more scientific, but regardless, it is definitely a very lightweight and fun looking candy bar. And since it's been such a huge and popular candy bar over in Europe, there have been so many different flavors and variations of it. There's Aero ice cream, drinks based off of it, mousse based off of it, not the animal, the dessert, and also just a bunch of different flavors. There's a mint version, there was a lime version, a cappuccino version, a white chocolate, honeycomb, orange, caramel, the list just goes on and on. Now for us over in America, we're used to having a bunch of stuff crammed into our candy bars. Besides the usual Hershey's. But yeah, this is something that's air inside of chocolate instead. Yeah, no caramel, it's just air. So let's see how good this actually tastes and see if it's worth your while. So there you go. Kind of looks like almost a like carton of eggs or something. So there you see all the bubbles in there. Looks really cool. Very porous. Very porous. All right, here we go. Nestle's Chocolate Aero. The texture is kind of cool. Like the whole feeling of it is pretty awesome. Very like easy to chew into. The chocolate is very good, high quality stuff. Very sweet. It is milk chocolate. From the bubbles, I do get this somewhat, I don't want to say gritty texture, but it's kind of like it's a far more resistant texture than the outside of the chocolate. There's something with it where it just feels slightly hardened, but not like, oh, it's crunchy or anything. It's just slightly there. I want to say maybe 5% harder to bite into compared to the outside shell. A little fun tidbit about this candy bar was that 3 workers back in 2004, I think, were fired because they were caught printing bad things inside the wrappers of Aero bars. I'm I'm so tempted to. I just want to press down on this. Yeah, there's that. Easy to press down into. Yeah. The bubble wrap. Oh, I just spit. Of candy bars. I'll just say that. All right, so Aero. It's not a new flavor, it's just a different experience than your average block chocolate bar. Being that this is almost 100 years old now, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily new chocolate, but it definitely is different and brings something, a variety to the table when it comes to chocolate bars. I will say though that it's just the texture, it's just the experience. When you bite through it, it's light, it's fluffy. Well, not necessarily fluffy, but it's just very light and bubbly. But it doesn't really bring anything different as far as flavor or taste wise. Now, they got different varieties of this, like I said, but this was the original, and that's what we're going off of. And it was a cool experience. I think I would prefer eating this more than your standard Hershey's bar, because at least there's some adventure and fun with eating these. You know, that is a plus about this thing, but if you're looking at this thinking it's going to be a full new different flavor, you're going to be wrong. You're buying this just for the texture and just a different form of a chocolate bar than your usual that you could get as a block. It's melty, it's sweet, very creamy. It doesn't melt right away, which is always a plus. You know, it's good. It holds up at least. But yeah, it's just for a regular chocolate bar. It's kind of a middle of the road tasting thing. Nothing too crazy as far as a flavor or taste. It's just sweet, creamy, chocolatey, and that's it. Got a different texture. So, all that being said, I will give the Nestle Aero chocolate bar a solid 7 out of 10. I'd recommend it. It's a good bar by default to give to anybody if they want something sweet and chocolatey. You know, this ain't too crazy where someone's gonna, think, "Oh man, that's so weird. Oh, I don't know how to feel." No, it's just a chocolate bar. I would say this is the bubble wrap version of a chocolate bar. So take that as you want to take it, and that is it. The Nestle Aero, I give it a 7 out of 10. And I found this at my local grocery store. They just kind of have a section where it's just like international stuff. And these are pretty plentiful there. So not that hard to find if you just search a little bit, sniff around. And yeah, you'll find them out here in the States. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this cheat day review, bruh. I am DJ Glowing Ice, always wanting to remind you that it is okay to cheat every once in a while. Alright, bruh. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.